Baba Booey. Seer, hello. I have Beppis, our heart and bottle of trauma. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, John, good to see you. We'll be starting soon. Also, since no one else is in here right now, I can tell you guys this special story. So, my roommate, wonderful man that he is, did not tell me. Well, first of all, let me preface this by saying my roommate gave me a weirdly packaged Rice Krispie treat that said Apple Jacks on it. Apple and cinnamon flavor. And I was like, oh shit, cool. He didn't tell me anything about it. He just slid it under my door while I was sleeping. I ate it, the whole thing, and I was like, man, this smells funny. This also tastes a little bit funny, but it's free food. It's a free Rice Krispie treat, right? 30 minutes pass. 30 minutes pass. I feel a little lightheaded. Go, that really did smell and taste like a weird Rice Krispie treat. I pull open the package. 500 milligram edible.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, are you okay?
Oh yeah, it's fine. That was yesterday, but like it didn't.
Oh,
It was pretty mid, but I was not
God.
expecting that.
That's nutty. Okay.
On the back it says start with 1 serving.
Yeah. Can't believe you didn't notice how it tasted.
Well, yeah, I was like, well, it came from my roommate, and he smokes a lot of weed, so maybe it just smells bad for me.
Yeah.
All right,
How
I'm
you
ready
guys
when you
doing,
guys.
chat? How you been? I'm waiting for an answer. Okay, well, I guess you're fine. We're gonna go play D&D.
Oh, okay, he's gone. All right, we're going.
You're right.
Hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of Pirate Travel. Our
Featuring Berserk.
Featuring Berserk.
Inspired D&D campaign. My name is Ruben, your Betty Jesuit sister for the evening.
Oh
In just
yeah.
a few minutes, we'll hop into episode
Ruben!
15 of the campaign. The party is sent to venture into the desert of Claystone Island. If you weren't here last episode, or if it's your first time joining us, the VOD is on YouTube, and a recap is available in the chat. Just type !recap to catch up. To catch up. As always, let me offer our special thanks to the folks who've made tonight possible. The artists, Julian Rush, Vieira, and Squaff. I don't know why I'm talking like this.
I love
and for
it.
the stream,
Yeah.
Luke Rush, Nathaniel, and Jonah. Tonight's warm-up question for the players: what is your character's idea of a romantic first date? Let's start with the VTuber premiere person,
which one?
Harlow,
Oh, okay.
played
Yeah, really.
by Jonah.
Harlow's idea of a good date is something very. You know what? I feel like it's like going to a museum or something. Maybe like going to a shipwright museum.
I was so excited.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's
I'm
he's not
totally
boring.
joking.
He's just older than a 22-year-old person that would want to go like drink alcohol and jump off a ship or something.
I'm
Uh,
just totally kidding.
but yeah, he's got boring tastes. But you know what? This is
It
the
sounds
action is
sweet.
here.
He's a
When he
man
wants
of
to settle
culture.
down, he's gonna settle down. Yeah, yeah. There you go. He's a man of culture. Wants to look at art and like this is how they used to make ropes and shit. You know? Isn't that cool?
Yeah, look at these nuts. You
Yeah,
sailor
it's
nuts.
pretty neat.
Picturing Harlow getting excited over such mundane things, like not really mundane, but just like things that most people aren't really interested. It's just really cute to me.
It's like the trope of the like big guy building a ship in a bottle or something like that. You know, he likes the
Yeah,
finer,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
tiny
Yeah.
things.
Take him to a mill to see how they used to, I don't know, cut wood. He'd be so
Oh,
excited.
man, let's go to Colonial Williamsburg. Go see how the Shakers lived.
I bet you want to
Next-
churn butter as well, you sick
Oh,
fuck.
I love butter.
yeah, butter.
Next up is Sunny, played by Corey.
Well, Sunny is 16, so I don't think he really knows too much about dating. It's probably like very much like, oh, don't worry, we'll be home by 11, and then they just go to whatever, just like a show, basically, like the equivalent of whatever a movie is.
A play.
Yeah, yeah, like a show.
Yeah, yeah,
That's nice.
cute.
They go to like the music hall. They laugh at like
Aw.
all of the like ribald lyrics.
Look at that old
Next.
man. That's a wig.
Next up, Takai, played by Ryan.
Okay, let me put down the drink.
Oh my god.
No, pick it back up.
Okay, fine. I will hold it in the gayest way possible as I expound.
Yes.
I think his idea of going on a date would be like finding somewhere out in nature, like a secluded little lagoon or secluded spring, and just spending the day like eating food that they brought from home and swimming, and just sort of stuff like that, enjoying each other out in nature. And then fucking by the fire on a blanket at night.
There it
Like
is.
you do.
There it is.
Very romantic. Next up, I almost said Nathaniel, played by Myrtle, which is the bastard. Myrtle, played by Nathaniel.
Well, I think considering the fact that he is an artificer, he would probably make his own magic, and he would probably set up a little fireworks show on like the beach or like by a cliffside or something.
Cute, I
Nice.
like that. Next up, Freya, played by Courtney.
Hi, so Freya probably wouldn't even like I don't think she would have a crush on anybody, so I don't even think she really thinks about the concept of romance and dates. But to have fun with someone, she would want to go and like look for shiny things on the beach or,
Hey, that's
go-
great. I would love a date like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cute.
But I mean, like, she would just do really like simple things. Like a picnic would be nice to her. Like she loves nature and she loves animals. Like going to a zoo would thrill her. And just somewhere that's like, I don't know. She would like to go see like interactive, like Harlow would go see a museum. Freya likes to go to interactive exhibits.
Okay,
That kind of thing.
nice. And last but not least for tonight, just they're not currently with the group, but Riley, what would Eldoris consider for a romantic date?
I think Eldoris, because being me, I was like making bold character choices for NPC. I think it would be one of those like couples painting with a twist thing where you both paint but you also like have alcohol and there's like a person like giving a tutorial on how to paint.
And you're both naked.
And you're,
No, Chad, because these are usually group classes.
You're all
Chad.
naked.
We're all naked.
I want you to paint me with this. Only this.
Only this.
So, well,
Draw me like one of your
th-
French fish.
I
Well,
did
thank
have
you
answers
all.
for Monty and the new character too.
Fantastic. You can tell us. I think we'll probably have that next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, thank
Maybe.
you all to the folks who have jumped on Thanksgiving Eve. We are probably going to have. I typically would not telegraph this, but because I think I feel like everyone in the chat tonight is like kind of half here, as am I. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
we're going to probably have a shorter session tonight or something pretty quick, just to get the D&D itch, and we'll likely have a more complete session next week. We're also missing a few folks tonight. But yeah.
Oh, you
so
don't
thank
want to
you for-
hear what McCleary would do for a date?
Oh my!
I
I would love to
see.
hear what
Well,
McClure
no,
okay.
would
because
do.
he's
Sorry, I'm so
married
sorry.
to the sea.
Wax his head,
I would
right?
just take
It's
you
an
into a
open
rowboat
relationship.
and no.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's fine. Doesn't matter. Okay. You've all seen Titanic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know when Jack takes Rose to like the party under the ship, like, and they're all like dancing, and
Aw,
that
Oh,
would
that's
be
cute.
McCleary's thing.
Thank you,
He'd
James
take you to
Cameron.
some rowdy bar thing, and you dance as a dude plays a fiddle.
Yeah,
thank you,
go get
James
called a
Cameron.
wench. You know, just pirate things.
Yo,
Hashtag just pirate things.
just pirate
Yar,
things.
har, har.
A hearty
All
yo
right.
ho at the end of it.
Did I
Texas
get everyone
+5?
this time?
I think so. What about Salome? What about Salome?
He goes on
I
dates with
think
those animals.
Yeah,
probably
where would he have taken Monty?
probably a zoo. I think he would love a zoo, or like
Freya,
a
he
interactive
and Freya can just
animal
be
experience.
friends that go on dates that aren't dates.
Could see him
like a friend date.
I could see him
Yeah.
going to like medieval times or some like dinner show or something like that,
Yeah.
Oh my god, I think Salome would love
or
one of those.
Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
That's a good idea. Cool. All right. Well, again, thanks everyone for joining us on such a weird day. Let me pull up my stuff here, see where the hell we were 2 weeks ago, and we'll dive in. Okay. There we go. When last we left our heroes, we had just returned from the uncertain state of the resurrection ritual for Monty Montgomery, the first member of the Limelights to have fallen in battle, in this case indirectly from Achilles of the Imperium. Unfortunately, the ritual did not succeed, and Monty was lost to the chime. The party, the Limelights, had a very sweet burial at sea, bearing most of Monty's belongings with him, with the exception of the trident, the necklace, and I believe the bottle meant for Pan. The party did some shopping at the resident Pippity Poppity Purchases shop. Meanwhile, Harlow saw a strange figure in the crowd in the marketplace, found that they were from House Vishad, one of the fallen houses of the Imperium, and discreetly tracked them to the edge of town, where he saw them in the sand dunes, rather, not sand
Ooh, in the
dudes.
sand dudes.
Sand dudes.
Dudes.
Infamous.
They're called
Um,
elementals.
Yeah, rode a giant worm over the horizon.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. The party has been given a task by Pan here on Claystone Island. In exchange for returning to Pan and giving him half of the treasure, because he has other things to attend to, he has given the party a log pose, a compass that points towards the location of the tomb or the ruins or wherever this treasure is kept, out in the desert. What the party knows about the desert thus far is it has the marketplace seaside city. There's another city deeper in where House Vashad is said to kind of congregate, and then there is this vast arid wasteland in between. So, with the party reduced now to 7 for the first time in its trek, the sun sets over the horizon. The air here is still humid. It's still very dry, still very hot. There is a slight shift in the air. It's not as painful on the skin. You have your ship still docked at the pier. You have the log pose for the treasure, and you have all the difficult emotions from a funeral that has only happened less than a day before. What do you do?
So, we wanted to bring the ship around the island, right?
coast. Yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
what we were going to talk about. So we could avoid possibly the worm,
And so we could update
them
the
walking-
so we can update the map as
and
well.
update the map. Yeah, too. We had to discover more parts of the map. Okay. Yeah, I think we were just like actively doing that as like we stopped when we were like getting ready to set sail again.
Okay.
Ruben, can you dump Monty's body off the board, the pog?
Oh.
Get rid of him!
Thank you.
Flush it down the toilet, Ruben! Flush the fish down the toilet!
Flush the fish down the
Very good.
toilet. Yeah.
Salome is not here. It
You
is
can swear.
late in the evening. The sun is now set, but there's still that purple and blue over the horizon, that thin amount of light where you are. You can kind of see the first stars on the horizon, the brightest ones. You make out the moons, of course. The air out on the sea is considerably cooler, more relaxing, more temperate, especially compared to the heat of the island. How far around are you? Kind of describe to me what the approach here is.
Hold on a second. I guess we kind of I sailed the ship about as close as I can get to the beach without beaching it. So maybe like 50 feet, 100 feet? Probably more than that, honestly, to fit this fucking massive ship. And as I'm piloting the ship, and I'm sure everybody else can do other things, but as I'm piloting the ship, I want to keep a close eye on the shoreline. Like if there's any trees or anything, I just want to make sure that we're not getting jumped by anything. Because we're still relatively close to the shore, I would imagine. Wouldn't take too long for
Sure.
something to swim out to us.
Make a perception check. This will determine how well you're able to keep the ship from water that is not deep enough.
Hold on a sec. Okay. A perception check?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Come on. God, why is this dice roller taking forever?
Oh, good.
The anticipation.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, the anticipation.
15. 15.
Yeah, you are capable enough to see, because there's no White House. You only have the illumination of the two moons and whatever torchlight is on the ship, although having light on the ship can make it harder to see outside. So you can make out just the shoreline. You get a little bit dangerously close at certain points. There aren't any sort of light sources on the island. So what you're getting is mainly the reflection off of rocks and the sand itself from the
Okay.
moon. How far around are you going? When are you going to stop? What's sort of the
I guess
point?
this isn't a destination given to us by the log pose, is it?
So the log pose changes as you move around. It is from your vantage point still pointing towards the island.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, if that's the case, then I kind of want to. I guess don't we want to go as far as the log pose like stays in a certain direction, and then we can just, know that we've traveled as much as we could,
Well,
without
if
shying away from the destination.
right, so if the log pose, if the object is located somewhere in the middle of the island, the log pose will continue to point. Well, it'll continue to point to the same direction. I think it is pointing from your vantage point, right, when you first got to the city, it was pointing, functioning your north, your 12 o'clock. It is now
Okay.
pointing. Are you going around clockwise or counterclockwise?
We're going like going around starboard, I guess, counterclockwise.
Okay.
That's what I had in my head. It could have been in either
Sure,
direction.
sure. It's now going kind of 11, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock as you kind of go around the.
Okay, when it hits 3, I start to tell everybody to ease up on the sails, and I guess as soon as it tries to level out to 3, I want to make sure that we stop the ship and anchor at that position.
Okay. Easy enough. What is everyone doing on the ship while this whole thing is transpiring? It probably takes at least a few hours.
Ruben,
Takai,
go ahead.
Takai's probably up in the sails, kind of pulling on the leads, things like that, tying things off, things like that.
I have a question for you, Ruben.
Sure.
So, my tinkering mind had an idea. And it might be a bad one.
Your laughing here is a little bit scary.
So, I do have a bag of colding, but I also have that symbol that turns anything into a bag of holding. Now, from my work as a tinkerer, I would probably know the dangers of mixing both of those two together, correct? Vaguely, at least. Ruben?
Yes? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Would I know the basics of like not mixing another bag of holding with another interdimensional object?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that's ill-advised. But I don't know that.
So
You know what?
Here-
Make an Arcana check with advantage.
okay, I have a reason for this. Don't worry, don't worry.
You're gonna get
Please roll
sucked
well.
into
Please
the
roll well.
null zone.
Plus, it should be high. So, what was it? Arcana? Okay.
Please roll well. Please roll well. Please roll well.
Join me in my watery grave.
Okay,
19?
19.
Watery.
Yeah,
So,
you know for sure.
okay. With that knowledge, I would like to make an object. I want to make a crossbow bolt. And the basics of just making a crossbow, I'm sure a basic crossbow isn't too hard to make over the course of a few days, but I want to make a specific arrow. The tip of the arrow is going to have that patch, the dinosaur patch that turns anything into a bag of holding. And the back of it, I want it so that I want to tie the back of it so that when the arrow hits something, obviously the speed of the arrow is going to make it go forward. And when it hits something, the bag will envelop the tip of it, which is the bag of holding, and create a bomb that explodes. Does that make sense? Because
It does. It does make sense.
that can take me a while. It doesn't have to be now, but I do want to
No,
get
no.
started on it.
Mr. Myrtle, you have yourself a bomb-making factory functionally.
All right.
Or bombs.
He's too smart
Holy
for
crap.
his own good.
Let's say.
Oh my god.
Is there,
That's fucking awesome.
is there a time window that your ability? How does that piece work in terms of like you decide to make an item, and how long it takes for you to tinker? Basically, is there any current rule for that?
There's no current
Yeah.
rule about it, so it's up to you if you want me to take a while to just either creating it itself doesn't seem like it would take a long time, but maybe coming up with the schematics that it would envelop the tip of it or something like that. If you
Right,
want
right.
that to take longer, then that's fine
How
as
about
well.
how about this? If you have this completed today, there will be a 50% chance that it doesn't work, and that chance will include, if you roll a natural 1, some potential countervailing effect on you. If you wait 2 days, or if you do tonight and then another day and then sleep again, you will have a 100% working object.
I'm going to tinker on it a little bit longer because this seems like it's mixing some pretty different arcane magics together. So that'll be my tinkering project for the next few days.
Excellent.
That's going to be cool.
Freya and McCleary,
Yes, hi,
what are y'all up to?
Freya's cooking
What you cooking?
fish.
Meth.
Two very different things.
I can help with that too.
She's taking the death of Monty a little bit too hard.
No, I mean, like, fish is, like, probably one of the only few things that we have, at least while we're on sea.
What kind of fish?
Halibut.
It's okay. We got some fantasy ocean halibut.
Wow, fantasy halibut. Damn.
Tastes like
God,
real
you
thing.
want me to get
Fantasy
fantastical?
halibut, we're all
Hold
your
on
dreams
one
No,
came
no,
true.
I'm just
With like a
I'm just
druid
teasing.
craft, a potato.
Okay. I want a Rizarath peacock bass.
Is that from Final
The
Fantasy?
fuck is that?
Yes, it is.
Is
You
it
have a
a
picture of
saltwater
whatever that is?
fish?
Show us the fish.
No, it is not. Give me a second.
Let's do that.
Find
Wait,
another
what did you
fish.
say?
That fish.
A
Rig that
Rizarath
fish.
peacock bass.
Peacock bass?
I don't like how
Okay,
it
Is it
well,
sounds.
multicolored?
hold on.
Is it like rainbow fish?
Hold on.
Oh shit, it is like rainbow. Like kind of.
A Nephilim grouper.
These names
Huh.
are so like pretentious just to be.
I think it's
Oh, these are
adorable.
Final Fantasy 15 fish.
Yes, they
Okay.
are.
Of course they are.
You
Excellent,
can get it
excellent.
from Altisha.
All right, so you're making some of those fishies. Excellent.
Yes, I am.
Uh,
They,
and-
according
please
to
continue.
Final Fantasy 15,
Oh my god.
they they can give you 13 AP, which is points you get to level up your skill tree.
Nice.
Sure, I think-
and
I
they
think you
do
will
nothing
become-
else for you.
I think as you cook this this lovely fish, you see above your head a little thing that says Freya, Chef 2.
Hold on.
Ooh, Chef
hold
1.
on.
Here comes the
Hold on.
soundboard.
Hold on. It's loading. It's loading. Give me a second, please. I beg of you. And then I'll shut up for the rest of the session. Okay?
Bum, 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 ba-na-na-na-na-na-na.
It's not the right one, but it works.
You-
Payoff's going to be so worth it.
I know.
Yeah, it was gonna be huge, Morty.
Wait, it didn't work. No, wait.
Wait.
Yay!
Hey. Okay. Yeah. So that was worse.
Okay.
That was worse.
We can
Wow.
move on now.
Super high quality sound there. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Freya. McCleary, what are you up to?
I'm sitting at the table with a knife and fork in hand, waiting for this damn fish to be cooked. No, I want to say I'm just looking out for like rocks and stuff along the shore as we're, because we're trying to go in fairly close to shore. So I'm just trying to keep a lookout for that
Okay.
in the
Cool.
dark
In the dark.
with my old
Clear
sailor's
his night
eyes.
vision.
With mine, I squint really hard.
Okay. So you drop anchor once the compass is in your allotted preset position. What's next?
I guess we get in our dinghy and we row out. Do we have a special dinghy, or is it just a
Didn't we
normal?
name a
normie
dinghy?
It's called the Lime
We did.
Wedge.
The Lime Wedge. Yes, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
We set a sail the Lime Wedge. We can't all be on it at the same time. We have to send it back. Unless we have two wedges.
we can just say that the two missing party members that are not here can bring
Oh
it
yeah,
back.
there you go. They can just there we go. Okay, cool. And as we get closer to the beach, what do we see? Is there like trees?
Oh,
It's a
Ruben,
desert,
did you
I would
ask
imagine there's
Sunny
no
what he
trees.
was doing?
Oh right.
No, I did not.
Do it.
If nobody is bothering Sunny, I want to see if I can open the letter to who's the fuck's it? Pan. If it's
The
not
message in the bottle?
Yeah. If it's not been like trapped or whatever, then I would want to open that and read what it says.
Okay. Give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds.
Ruben, did you not write a letter?
Give me 30. Hey, guys, I have to go look in the library to see what the letter says. Hold on, give me 1 second.
It's just a picture of a dick.
Hello, Mom.
He's deafened.
You can have
Look at
a-
scribbles on hand.
You know what? You
Yes.
know what? You know what? You know what? I'm doing it live. I'm doing it live. Okay.
Oh my
God.
This is why I probably shouldn't be doing this. Okay. Okay. The cork in the bottle opens. It's not locked or restrained. This message is meant to be read. It is printed in black ink. You can only imagine is Pitch's handwriting. And the message describes an ask directed towards Pan to gather himself and his crew and Salome and his crew and to meet at Anchor 12 for the purpose of coordinating an attack on Aurelia. Aurelia is the city at the end of this first half of the Grand Line. It is the city based on the red line that intersects the Grand Line. He wants an alliance. And he says that he will head there in anticipation of a yes, and that this needs to be communicated in the fashion they have done so in the past. It's signed Pitch, captain of the Pitch Black Pirates. Smiley face.
Smiley face. Cool.
Nice.
I think I would try and make a copy of that before putting it back in the bottle, just so I've got a copy, an extra copy
That's interesting.
for later.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to do. No, not on my stealing list.
Let's see. There's one other note here I had about Aurelia. Yeah. So, you've just for reference, you all have heard a few terms of areas that are near the end of the first half of the Grand Line. You've heard now Aurelia for the first time. You've heard of Anchor 12, which is also near the end. In between Anchor 12 and Aurelia is something called Heaven's Gate. I think that was mentioned. Let me Control F through the recaps.
It sounds.
No, just kidding. You didn't hear that from me. You've not heard that. So Anchor 12 and Aurelia. And to remind you, the ask was for this to be delivered to Pan before you got to Anchor 12.
No, the ask was to deliver it before we got to Paradise.
Let me take a look.
I didn't say anything about Anchor 12 because we still had,
Shades?
yeah, we still had Shades with us at that point, I think.
Let me
Oh,
see
true,
what I
true.
said. No, I wrote in my notes, if this isn't completed but before you reach Anchor 12, you'll die. So it's Anchor 12.
Shit.
Yeah, no, this was from my notes from the first session. And it looks like, I'm sorry, one more. Yeah, it says that they're going to meet up in advance at Anchor 12, and then they're going to try to begin the attack at Heaven's Gate. That's why I thought Heaven's Gate was part of this, because that's part of the message.
I'm very confused now because my notes say Paradise.
I have here the little narrative.
Yeah,
thing
no,
that I
this
Oh
have.
is-
boy.
This is fine. I will. Doesn't matter. It's not our problem. This is Pitch's problem, and I will make it everybody's problem.
Okay. Anything else from you?
Nope. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, we
From the shore, you don't. I mean, it's hard to see. It is at nighttime. You're on the shoreline. You can kind of make out a beach, a sandy beach. But I mean, you're looking into an area that has no illumination except from the faint illumination from the moon.
I cast the light on the boat.
Okay.
So as we're like on the not the like ship, but the boat that we're the dinghy, so we can see. I think like 30 feet in front of us. Let me double check. Yeah, 20. I can see bright light 20, and then dim light for another 20. But you know, people who I don't have dark vision, so.
Okay.
As we go,
I mean,
and
only 30 feet-
I look in the water, and I look on the shore as we get close enough.
Yeah, no, there is no sign of any sort of established civilization. There's no tents or anything. It is a beach that then runs right up into arid desert. There is not a ton of separation in between beyond this kind of hilly area on the side. The sand here is a little bit different. It's a little bit more coarse than the sand that's maybe 100, 200 feet in front of you. As you kind of leave the limelight and get on the dinghy to get to the shoreline, you cross through the threshold at which you feel the climate of the island. So even though it's nighttime, you feel a little bit warmer, and the air is drier. I do want to mention a little bit more detail about what you got, because you were given some stuff in advance of this whole trip into the desert. I think you might have like glossed over it a little bit.
Yeah, the not still suits.
The not still suits. You have the body tight. They're called leak suits. They have a small straw that comes out of the portion from the neck, and a mask that will cover both the nose and the mouth, sort of vaguely like a hazmat mask, to breathe into. You also have a specialized tent that is designed to pull perspiration out of the air and recycle it into drinking water, because there is no water.
Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Jack, can you still hear me?
What
can
the
hear me.
fuck?
Oh,
Whoa.
okay. We're,
No, but
did
what was
everyone
that?
have that
Was that
too?
everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just me.
Did somebody just slap the server?
Oh no, Elon Musk has control of Discord now.
That was insane.
I heard everyone
hi.
perfectly fine.
I had no idea what was happening.
We entered another parallel
The
dimension.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, we vibrated into the nth dimension.
What was the last thing y'all heard?
Something about water. It takes-
Yeah,
it's like
I mean,
a hazmat
we have a tent.
suit, and
You have
we
a
take
tent.
water
You have a tent.
from
We have
the
a tent that-
atmosphere.
makes us sweat into sweet mountain spring water.
It doesn't make you sweat. It says if you sweat, it can then take that sweat and recycle it.
Okay, so don't take your suit off unless you're in the tent. All right. Do we have enough suits for everyone, or?
Yeah, we bought everything last time.
Okay, we
right?
bought
Like,
everyone. All right, I was just making sure everyone had one.
put on your suits, boys
Yeah,
and girls.
suit up. Like it's
Suit
James
up.
Bond.
Oh no. Well. That's my impression of Discord right now. There we go.
What the fuck?
What in the wild,
Oh my
wild
God.
world of sport?
What the
Come on,
fuck
come
did
on.
everyone else hear? Chat, what did you hear?
Discord is operational, looks like.
Indie company.
Are you hosting the server?
Yeah, small independent.
There's no hosting. It's supposed to be
We all
Let me-
sound like robots now.
What the fuck, Courtney?
Someone-
Oh, it's voice mod.
Did you say Jason Derulo?
Jason Derulo.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. Well, glad it's a short session tonight. Okay, so you have the suits, you have the tent, you have some knowledge about the potential dangers of walking just as fast as you can through the desert. What other supplies are you taking with you from the ship, if any? Or is it just
Well,
the
everything on
suits
my
and-
character sheet for one.
for sure?
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing extraneous of that.
I don't know what else. Water.
Yeah, do we know we know it's a desert, right? So we should bring some water. I hope it just doesn't evaporate. But yeah, we'll bring a couple of extra skeins of water.
Can we
Deduct. Yeah.
out of character, because Takai sure isn't this fucking smart. Do we have any idea roughly how long of a journey it's going to be to this place? Like whether we should bring any rations or anything?
This will be several days.
Okay, that's probably a
Yeah.
yes, especially hiking in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some sort of D&D like Reynolds wrap or like
The old
Like
D&D
use
Reynolds wrap.
fantasy
Wax
plastic
paper.
wrap?
unless we have
Leaves?
Stop. Unless we have some like what is it called, limbus?
Limbus bread?
Limbus bread.
Yeah,
Unless we have some limbus bread.
Limbus?
I don't
Yeah,
think we
limbus
have any
bread.
limbus bread.
We ain't got no magic bread.
Let me see what
We
you
got
have on
we
the-
got hardtack and salt pork.
Yeah, that's it. We got hardtack and dried meats.
Let's see from the ship. You have 26 water and 16 food. What I would say is you could take equivalent supplies that you think that you would need from the ship if you want, and that might have an impact. That I will say that will have an impact on the number of constitution saving
Constitutional
throws.
rights.
Not constitutional saving throws. Those are different things. Sorry, I am very tired. So we're not going to do any sort of encumbrance rules in terms of how much you're carrying, but you have water on the ship. You could take it in cans. That's certainly fine. A portion of that might evaporate over the course of the journey, but you have resources to utilize. Now you would need one per person per day, which would be 6.5 days if you were to use all the water. And you're not quite sure how much of that will evaporate on the spot. You just know that it's going to be a desert. You've already been to the island during the day. So it's up to you.
Put it in the
So-
bag of colding.
Yeah, and how does the suit help then? Does it preserve
Ah.
water better? Recycle it, presumably?
The suit recycles your own body's water, and it helps. If it's damaged, though, you'll be potentially shit out of luck.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna
Actually, no,
pour
that-
it
that's
into
a
the
good point.
into the bag
If
of
you-
colding and empty all
know
the
what?
other items out, so that we at least have some cold water that isn't sweat.
Let me revise, because of course the suits will help with the water piece. I don't think you'll have to make a constitution saving throw for the water for dehydration because you have the suits, but it won't be fun. It won't be enjoyable. Your character will have it's sweat water.
This water tastes like sweat.
Okay. And it's the middle of the night?
Currently, it's like 1, 2 in the morning.
We say we set up here for the night.
I mean, shouldn't we move at night? It would be colder, right?
I guess you got
I
a
can
point.
provide a fire.
Is it that cold?
Question.
The desert.
Question about the worms.
Oh,
We know
worm?
there's worms, right?
Yeah,
A worm?
yeah.
Oh, worm.
A worm?
Is a fire gonna draw their attention? Like,
I think it's more related to, any large vibrations? Anything that...
right, but if we're sleeping and one of us is snoring, is that gonna draw their attention?
Only if
Did
you
I
snore
see-
very loudly.
When I watched that person last week walk on the sand, like out far, did I notice anything about the way they were doing it?
Yeah, they were walking focused on the kind of back of their foot first to be less obtrusive of the ground, very slowly. Kind of had a dance like rhythm to it. And to be short about it, it was a slower way of walking to avoid heavy footfalls.
Okay. And
It
when
was
Harlow's
weird
done-
enough that you would have noticed.
Okay.
So, my magic shoes.
Oh
do
yeah.
Do they lighten the footsteps of whoever wears them, or does it just make it not visible?
Read the description, please.
It doesn't leave
I'll have-
footprints.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
it's
is
just
the
that you
exact
don't leave
wording.
tracks.
Okay.
But would that mean that you even contact the ground and make a footstep sound?
Because I was gonna say, since I have wings, I can probably just hover.
You
3
could just
feet above the
fly,
ground
yeah.
for a little
Yeah.
while, yeah, and then give someone who's possibly a little heavier, the shoes, because, like, don't.
That's a clever use.
I'll have to read it again, but like, if I remember correctly, they fit whomever is the wearer. They fit the feet of whoever wears them.
I'm gonna be honest, it's not gonna look as good on me.
Put those
Fair.
shoes on.
Wear, the,
Beautiful Myrtle.
wear your fucking pumps with pride.
But because I'm not fat shaming the turtle, but he is a giant turtle,
What?
and I wanna
Noted.
make sure that like he doesn't like. I want to make sure Myrtle doesn't get hurt because he's making stompy stomps.
Not to be rude, but you thick.
You're like
Let's
4
see.
C's thick.
Oh,
Why-
put on the fucking pumps.
Let's
Julian,
just see though, because I have to make sure that. I have to make sure I'm scrolling back really far. I'm still in freaking November. Hold on.
Julian's asking, why isn't Myrtle allowed to slay?
These special
Right.
these special shoes are always perfectly fitted for your soul. When worn, they leave no footprints behind, no matter the surface. Only a DC 25 survival check can uncover the tracks. So, at least as far as that, it sounds like they don't affect the sound, they just make
Shoot.
the tracks incredibly hard to find.
I think that's what I had in mind, yes.
Pips Flippies.
Damn it.
Okay, well, you can still
the
fly.
really
That's fine.
You know
That's
the really
fine.
funny thing is, all I did was put shoes in the search bar and hit search. It was the first
Dadgummit.
fucking thing that showed up. We do not talk about shoes
Dadgummit.
in this chat ever.
We make a shoe post every week.
That's Myrtle.
Just throw it on.
Well,
Fucking away.
should we make camp then, or do we want to travel at night? How
It might
tired is
be-
everyone?
Not very. Let me see my my hit points. Yeah, I'm doing all right.
I'm good.
All right.
Setting
They might be less
for-
active during the night.
All right, well, yeah, I say we trek out, and the sooner we get to this place, the sooner we can leave this desert.
Does the tent provide shade, like shelter from the sun?
No, it provides it's insulation to well, it won't get rid of the heat because the heat's still going to go through the fabric.
Right, but will we like
it's-
blasted by UV or something like that? Like,
not by UV. It will still be hot. You will still sweat within the tent. That sweat will just be, recycled. It's not going to make you not sweat. So if you sleep in that tent, and these are small, cramped tents, they can fit two two for each. So again, it's that I think you're still going to have to make a con save against the heat of the day, but you're going to have either advantage or a lower DC if you are in that the entire day.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of like if you have like an umbrella on a hot day, it won't get rid of the heat. It's still going to feel hot, but not having to have the sun in your eyes is tremendously more comfortable.
Okay. I guess we get trekking, huh?
Yeah, let's get
All
trekking.
right.
Yes.
I got a little walking stick. I guess some driftwood I found on the beach. And we get going. What does it look like? Do we have to crest over a dune or something?
You do crest over a dune. The only light is coming from the two moons, the more cream-colored one especially. You can make out the tops of each of these dunes, a little bit of the light in front of you. The wind is pretty still out here. As far as the eye can see, there is just dune after dune after dune. There is no particular pattern to these. It is seemingly random. And each of these dunes is fairly tall. It's going to take, a minute walking up, then a minute walking down, then another one, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Log pose points currently from your current orientation. I think you've now probably 12 north. Or not north, but 12. You're 12. You probably see like a small desert rabbit, maybe a snake or two as you continue walking through. What
I
is
get it?
the? Can you get?
Can I get the rabbit? I want to hunt the rabbit.
You want to what the rabbit?
I want to kill and eat the rabbit and have it as our food.
There you go. There's your bloodthirstiness.
Make an
What the
attack roll.
fuck?
Okay. What? We're gonna eat the rabbit. It's
You know
food,
what?
okay?
I don't think I can make an attack roll. Well, sure. Make an attack.
Okay. Hold on, I forgot to log
You know
into
what?
Roll20.
I came to my mind for a second time. You know what? It's a rabbit. You're a little dragon girl. I think you can. I don't think this requires a roll. If you want to kill the desert rabbit and have it as food, I think that's easy enough to accomplish.
Not like
what
we
is-
really need it. Oh, but because we got the bag of colding full of food. But like, I feel like her instincts would kind of take over, and she'd be like, "Pray." Please continue. Sorry.
Describe to me the last moments that this rabbit sees.
So, the rabbit doesn't see much because, God, I almost said my cat's name, Sailor. Because Freya is hunkered down and basically on all fours, just very, very low to the ground and sneaking up after this rabbit with making almost no sound. And her wings are flat against her body, and she's just very slowly sneaking forward. And as soon as the rabbit stops to check what it senses is behind it, Freya lashes out and grabs it, and just very quickly snaps its neck.
Make a stealth check with disadvantage.
Okay. One second, I'm so sorry. God, always unprepared. Stealth check. What's the disadvantage?
You roll twice and take the lower number.
Okay. So the first one is a 19 and the second is a 20
Hey, nice.
Okay.
cuz I have +9 in stealth.
Supreme sneak.
Noted.
All right. Okay, guys, I got food for us.
I thought you liked adopting cute animals.
What
I mean, food is food. We do need supplies.
I mean, it's gonna make a good stew, but like, I mean, after the capybaras and the mongoose and the goose and
The ghost cat.
the ghost cat.
Hey, maybe you'll have a ghost rabbit now.
Shut up! So sometimes I go a little, I get a little feral sometimes, and when I'm hungry or my instincts kick in, if I see a small animal, it's probably gonna die. I don't do it on purpose. And I feel really bad afterwards, but we have to make sure that we enjoy every bit of this rabbit and the bones can be used for supplies later.
Hey, we could make some good dice.
Or knives. Bone knives are pretty useful. And sometimes they shatter and they leave little bits inside, and that can get infected and cause even more damage.
You just like constantly flip-flop between adorable and absolutely fucking terrifying. You know that?
You can blame my dad for that.
Yay,
Anyway,
trauma.
enough about my daddy issues. Let's eat.
Nom
Okay.
nom.
Not the dad.
All right.
Who? Okay. Excellent.
Are we camping or in eating?
I
or
don't know. You guys
I-
tell
Are
me.
we
Think we're waiting until it's sunrise before we camp.
Yeah.
stuff
So
that
bag-
rabbit
bag
in a
of
bag
colding.
of colding, and then we'll eat it later. We got miles to trek. Do we have to walk in a special way? Do you need to teach us the rhythm, Harlow? You watched that elf dude, right? Do I know this? I'm just assuming.
I think he's
Oh, I'm
probably.
muted. I was muted. Yeah, I didn't quite see exactly what he was doing, but it was and I try and give my best approximation of the quote dance.
So you look like an idiot. Got it.
Well, I mean, I'm not good at it. I just saw.
No, I'm not saying you, Captain. I'm just saying that the way we gotta walk is to look like an idiot.
Yeah, I do it again.
I'd try and do it with you.
Okay.
It is quite the sight, I think, for everyone to watch the captain and the first mate doing this. But you can
Am I paying
tell
attention
that
as
the
I'm
way-
doing it? Watching us? Hmm?
but y'all can tell that it does have a lighter footfall. It is much more delicate, much more balanced.
It's all about the moves you don't do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you also a ballet dancer in a previous life?
You don't know where I've been.
And whose fault is that?
I'm sorry. I'm eating my dinner.
I can't believe
kinda
Sunny
shake my head.
Is just sassing Harlow in the middle of the desert.
I like this one.
That's what Monty would want.
All right, well,
You guys got it?
yeah.
Yep. Moving on.
Okay.
We're gonna dance our way down these dunes, and we're gonna have a good time doing it.
A little like a walk of shame.
Goddamn right.
Now you follow the captain. Let's go.
I do my fucking. Hold on. This is the.
There's the Congo line down the dunes.
Okay. What is the order? And what is the
I imagine I'd be going first.
okay?
I
And are we
will
doing a
follow
Congo
him.
line, or what's sort of the what does this look like?
I think that I'm gonna spread out if there's like they go for vibrations. I don't think we want to walk in a straight line. I don't
Maybe they'll
remember my-
think I'm
Yeah, yeah.
we're a weird worm.
I spread out, I guess, 15 feet apart.
Okay. And who's at the front? Harlow and
Me.
Yeah,
I'll follow him.
Cleary.
I'll take up the rear, as usual.
I'll be I'll be next in line from hell, my brain is not working tonight. Myrtle, because my Eldritch Blasts are kind of artillery.
All right.
All right. Freya?
Hi, so I am. Can I make torches for everyone?
But the sun's out.
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
I keep thinking it's nighttime.
It is night. Wait, it's
It is
nighttime, isn't
nighttime.
it?
Oh, it's
It's
nighttime.
nighttime,
It's
yeah.
nighttime.
I thought we slept.
Yeah,
No,
we're waiting
no,
until
no.
sunrise.
Not at all.
I cast light on my stick that I have.
Well,
my
I'm
walking
gonna
stick.
give you a torch anyway, because I'm a nice dragon.
I don't need a torch.
Take my torch.
Freya,
in
where
one
are you in
second.
the line?
I'm behind the line, like a pack leader wolf, just making sure that everybody is staying together, and I'm like a mother duck, but my ducklings are ahead of me, and I'm making sure that I have eyes on everything, and that if something comes up to attack us, I can see it.
Do you have dark vision?
Probably.
Well, we have light, so we don't have to worry
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
true.
Yeah, but outside of it's like a 60-foot radius for a torch of dim light.
I mean,
I don't think Dragonborn have dark vision.
no.
Or
I just
do
have
they?
breath weapon. Anyway,
You see, you
but that's
hear
why
rather,
I've given. Oh, sorry.
and feel vibrations in the ground. Far off, towards the horizon, you see some sand dunes kind of bump up and then sink deeper than they were previously.
Oh God. Oh dear.
Hey
I
guys.
need, everyone to make a stealth check.
Stealth check. Okay.
Stealth. I made a 12. Are you joking?
Ugh.
Just watch Freya just absent-mindedly skipping because she's excited.
Big ol' Harlow clunky boots over there.
I'm sorry. I got an 11.
Freya, what'd you get?
I got
mean,
a
you gotta-
12.
I mean, you rolled about as well as me, Jonah, and I actually have a decent stealth bonus.
Yeah, you're plus
Yeah,
6. Shit.
same.
Okay.
Mine's plus 9 and I still sucked.
Mine's
Courtney,
15.
your stealth is a +9? No.
Yeah.
No. Oh my God.
It is.
I got a 21.
I can show you.
Okay.
Do we rattle the worm or what?
The vibrations continue. And for a moment, it looks like the disruption to the sand tilts towards you,
Oh, fuck.
and then it passes to your 2 o'clock until it gets behind you and the vibrations stop.
So, okay, I have a question. Because it is in the sand, am I able to blow fire at it to freeze
Do
it in glass?
Not blow fire.
It's currently it's currently about 75 to 100 feet away from you.
Oh, okay,
It
okay,
is-
cool.
The body does appear to be. I mean, it's close enough to the surface that it's disrupting the dunes.
Yeah. Okay. So if one comes at us, I wonder if it would be beneficial for me to breathe my fire at. I can only use it once, I believe.
I
But
can
if
almost
we
guarantee you whatever the fuck's
Yeah.
gonna come out of this sand is bigger than the radius of your fire breath.
Ah, gosh. Okay.
Thy
It was
Halud be with
big.
us.
Harry.
If
and
if
pink.
it's just the one, depending on how many there are, I could definitely try to keep it in one place.
Big worm.
You're about to
Big
do
worm.
the thing that the lady says in the movie, right?
I'm waiting until later in the session to do
okay,
it.
Okay. Cool.
Also, Freya, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but only certain types of sand turn into glass. You need silicon dioxide to make it turn into a bright liquid, and then it cements into hardened glass.
Well, for the sake of working
You can make the sand very hot, though.
Ugh.
Takai has no idea what he's saying, but he's listening very intently.
We're standing next to each other like, hmm.
McCleary, for most of the walking, your feet kind of sink a little bit into the sand. It's a weird feeling to walk like this. Your foot eventually hits something hard beneath the surface.
I say to everyone, hey, there might be something buried here.
I turn around and walk over
I'd like
to you.
Try to uncover some of it.
It's a very decayed stone block. It has an archaic font, like a very, very old Sylvan. And though he's not here tonight, the one person who does recognize the text is Razim.
Oh shit!
Razim would say
Razim would recognize this text.
I mean, I also can read Sylvan.
Oh.
I will give you, Nate, the text in a PM.
All right.
A whole PDF.
So it's like, is it like a brick or like just a block?
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
It is a rectangular slab, maybe 5 feet tall, foot across. It has some kind of image that is currently mostly caked in with sand in the middle, and it has this text on the top and on the bottom.
Okay, so as I'm reading it, Myrtle pulls out, you know those like glasses that are in like we're going to steal the dependent scroll thing. Those things that like have the overlapping.
yeah.
You know the glass.
Man, we are all tired tonight.
Yes.
That one piece of paper. Yeah, where it's like the multiple like.
Yeah, where it just overlaps. So I pull on some glasses that does that, and you know how like when you have like Google Translate and like for text, it just like on top of it overlays like what the translation is. It does that whenever I'm reading through it, and it says, okay, so it says, Sovereign of Sovereign of Sovereigns, our blessed giver of boons. Anyone have any take on that?
That's all it says?
That's all it says. Might be weird something lost in translation, or...
Do we know anything about these worms? Like, did people used to worship them?
Make a history check.
Let me try and recall the things I were taught in school.
I think it's probably going to have a high DC given you haven't been to this island, but...
Can I also jump on that roll, since I'm a history major?
Please do, because my history's bad. 11.
Roll 1d20 plus 7.
McCleary, you only learn about these worms today.
14.
Damn.
Myrtle, you as well, you've never been to this island before. There's no indication from your reading that the worms are... I think today is also the first day that you've learned about these worms. There is an image located on the slab. It's right now a little bit messed up. It's scruffed up from the sand. It's been worn. The color appears to be kind of gone. It might take some time to clean it, but you could, in theory, see what the image might be of. But other than that, it's just this image and the text.
Well, maybe we take it with us just in case.
Yeah.
Like to try and see.
It's 5 feet tall, McCleary. Where are you putting that?
5 feet tall. I thought it were just a little brick. It's 5 feet tall. I dug out a 5 foot tall structure.
Was that what you said, Ruben? It was like 1 by 5.
Yeah, it's 5 feet in height. 1 foot.
Wow, that's a lot of digging.
We're gonna
slab
leave it here.
is
lads.
under the
I
table.
mean, we can. Question actually for the bag of colding. Does it, if anything is added to it, does that increase the weight of the bag still, or?
I don't know. Let's see what Bag of Colding says on dndwiki.com. This is a long description. The bag is interior space. The bag can hold up to 500 pounds. The bag weighs 15 pounds,
Okay.
regardless of its contents.
All right. I'm going to work on this and buffer it out a little bit when we take a nap. So he's going to start slowly just trying to fit it on top of the thing and just slowly push it into the bag.
Okay.
It's going to be a very
Yeah.
cold rock.
It's
Let me know what you find out on there, eh, Myrtle?
All
Can we
right.
make ice cream on it?
what?
What?
No,
Ryan?
no, we can't.
It's the marble slab.
I can't have ice cream. I immediately
Cold
melt
Stone
it when it goes
Creamery.
in my mouth. I can't
Damn
have
you.
ice cream because it immediately melts when I try to eat it.
I
We're not
mean-
having ice cream.
Oh.
We're walking in the
Well,
desert.
geez, Mr. Grumpy Pants.
Walking in the
wow.
desert, fighting a worm.
We're fighting a worm.
Me, 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 me,
I
me.
saw worm sign.
I love just observing this.
With the stone in the bag, should we keep walking?
Yes, please. I'm getting impatient.
I'm now picturing Myrtle in like a Myrtle-sized still suit, which is certainly
I thought you
something.
were
'cause
gonna
it-
say stilettos.
Probably look like a fucking turtle that has like the fucking plastics all over him in the ocean.
yeah,
Oh my god.
Oh,
You used a plastic straw.
It's gonna be like that one image you sent me, Ryan. I gotta send that.
excellent laughing. There's no further disruption on the evening of your journey. You see the yellows and oranges of the sunrise over the horizon. You finished about 6-7 hours of journey through the desert. Probably. Oh my god, that's pretty great actually. It would hurt.
Great.
Those things are rough. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
What did I miss?
We'll tell you when you're older.
You only pop
what
it
are
up on stream, or is it in another chat?
No, it was on stream.
For fun.
what are
I'll
y'all
send it to you
continuing
first.
to journey during the day, or will you guys stop in the morning?
Do we do we see any place that would make like a rock structure or anything, or is it just miles of dunes?
Currently, the area that you're in is just miles of dunes.
Oh my god. All right. We keep going, I guess.
Until it's like noon.
When the sun is the hottest.
Yeah.
How hot is it?
Hot?
Hot as
You know,
balls.
like a desert.
But I mean, is it? How much are we sweating? I'm curious to know just like what the effects are on us.
the effects are bad.
What the effects of
Stroke.
being in the desert are? Well, there's a
Well, I
few.
mean, You could have a cold
Apart-
desert.
Sure, no, fair enough. It could be Antarctica. Unfortunately, it's more like the Sahara. Not only is it incredibly hot, it's also very dry. So it doesn't just affect how that heat feels. Jonah, it's like a very hot. It's like in the middle of the summer in LA. In the valley.
Oh,
It
okay.
sucks. The air is also hot, and that is, I think, one of the, if you've ever been to if you've been to the valley in June, it hurt. It's hard to breathe.
yeah.
Because the air
Ground
itself is
reflects
kind of
the
heavy.
air
Right.
for the
right.
sun,
So
and it's
just
hotter
an
as it
oven?
evaporates. It's crazy. It feels like an oven.
probably
You
the
walk out there and
first
it's like,
hour or
"Oh."
two of the sun rising is not going to be. It's going to take a few hours to get to that point. But once it gets to that point, you're going to dehydrate. 10, 20 minutes out here just walking. And again, you're walking very slowly. Up and down, up and down. So half the time you have to push yourself occasionally these dunes can be a little steep, or at least require you to be balanced. Your muscles are all working during this time, so it's not just you're going up like a stairmaster again and again and again and again and again. Hundreds over the last few hours. If y'all are walking until the middle of the day, I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw. I almost said Constitutional again.
Oh, I got a nat 20, but I didn't roll it in the fucking roll 20.
No, but it's popped up on D&D Beyond. So.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
did
saw
it?
it.
Okay.
I mean, no, Jonah's lying.
Shut up. I got a nat 20. I'm good.
What is? Oh,
The
Constitution.
DC, you want a 12 or higher.
I got a 14.
My lips are chapped.
Oh my god. Mine too. It's too hot for us old timers.
Well, I'm a dragon,
This
so I'm
would have
used to the
definitely
heat.
killed Monty.
If you do not succeed, you take a point of exhaustion.
Oof.
Now you're about to go
When
to sleep.
Freya's too, when Freya's too hard, or wow, when Freya's too tired. Shut up. When Freya's too tired to fly, she uses her wings as an umbrella, and her wings are made of like this leathery type skin. So because they're wings, they're made to, absorb or reflect. Like, they're made to reflect heat, basically. So a lot of times when dragons fly, their wings are facing towards the sky, closer to the sun. So they are made to, not absorb as much heat, so that way they stay cool. I made that up on the spot, but it makes sense.
It does make sense. If the dragon was,
Scatter
burned by their own heat, on
Yeah.
their wings, that would not be a very good effective dragon.
Especially
I like that.
dragons with fire abilities.
Especially dragons with fire abilities. I agree.
Yeah. But Freya's stupid, so she'd probably forget and just like get a sunburn. So chill anyway.
There are 4 of these tents. Who is huddling with who?
Freya has she's kind of like huddled up next to. God, who would want to be with Freya though? Who would want to?
I'll room with Freya.
All right, cool.
Kai's rooming with Razim.
All right. Harlow, I'll be with the captain.
Okay.
If you want a room with old McCleary.
Sonny, you can
Because-
come room with me and Myrtle.
Have lots of stories to tell when we go to sleep.
Yeah.
We have
So-
4 tents.
The 4 tents. So one is going to be by themselves.
I will be by myself.
Okay, I'll be with Sonny then. Unless
Okay.
McCleary lays out on the sand.
McCleary
Two people
starfishes
want
the
to be by
tent.
themselves. Let me die out here. No, I'll room with whoever is wherever.
I'll room with
if-
whoever. It doesn't matter to me.
I'll stay with McCleary if
Okay.
Candace hasn't, or Harlow, or whatever whoever the fuck you
What
are,
did you just call me?
bitch.
Watch your tongue.
I can't. It's in my mouth.
For
All right, now you're just being argumentative. This
Anyway.
conversation is over.
That's right. Walk away.
Do we have to keep watch for the day?
The day.
You tell me.
Freya's already passed out.
I would think that we do.
Yeah.
I would want to. Let me say that rather.
Plus, we can talk a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is taking watch? If there is anyone taking watch from each respective pod.
I'll take either the first watch or the last watch because, thanks to being a cat person, I sleep 2 hours less.
I will also note. I guess you could keep watch from within the tent, being just awake. You could also
Yeah.
keep watch from outside the tent.
I have
that
an
would be
idea.
in the
Why don't okay, so given how many hours there are in one night, why don't we have like multiple people? Like, of course it's gonna be like multiple people, but I volunteer to wake up early so that way I can make sure that breakfast is made for everybody when they wake up
All right.
Okay.
in the morning.
I'll take does anyone want to talk to me specifically? Otherwise, I guess it doesn't matter.
I mean, I don't mind. I'm always
Okay.
down to
You don't want
RP.
to talk to me?
But I'm with the other crews, so
Then I would like to take watch with Freya. I think I'll wake up early too.
Okay.
So again, my understanding was that y'all were trekking during the night and continuing into the morning and stopping around like 11 or 12
Yes.
of the heat of the day. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
it's currently early afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so are y'all inside the tents, outside the tents? What does this look like?
Well, if she's cooking,
So
and
what are you cooking exactly, and how are you cooking?
and how? Yeah.
the rabbit,
Okay.
right?
Well, yeah, the rabbit I'm cooking is sort of like, I want to say kind of like it's a little meat meal for the morning. I'm sure there's like vegetables in the
Meat meal.
Eggs.
Eggs.
Yeah, eggs.
But
If I don't have my
how are
eggs-
you? How are you cooking?
Well, I have in my bag, I have a few like small travel-sized pots and pans and like spatulas and things like that. Very kind of lightweight, but I also have like a little I have some pieces of wood that I can use to keep a fire going, and a little platform like with the kind of stove over top of it, so that way I can cook. And that's how I've been making the eggs and the rabbit and the vegetables. Roast vegetables are really good with a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper and maybe a little bit of spicy spice. But we're looking at like maybe some onions and carrots and Brussels sprouts and potatoes.
I've come up with a new recipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a stealth
How about
check.
a new recipe?
Oh my god.
So what check am I making?
Make another stealth check.
Stealth check? Okay.
Mhm.
I made it 16.
16. Okay. Noted.
Wait, a stealth? Oh, okay. No, yeah.
That's not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration.
I think
Thank you.
then as you are cooking,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sort of watching the horizon, and I say, so, Freya, tell me a little bit about yourself. We've been together for a few weeks now, and I feel like I don't really know you.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think of myself as an open book, but I mean, I guess there's not really a whole lot I like to share about
That's
myself.
understandable. I think everyone has things they don't like to share. Why don't you
I
tell me the
mean,
things you do like to share? Where are you
I
from?
like cooking.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
You do a fairly good job at it, too. Better than some of the gruel I've been stuffing down before, let me tell you.
But as far as where I'm from, it's just a regular dragon colony. I used to, before I joined the crew, I lived with my mom and my dad, and yeah, that's about it. Pretty normal life as a dragon girl.
Well, you know, that's pretty abnormal, I think, actually.
How do you think?
Well, you know, sometimes people hunt dragons.
Yeah. Where I come from, they really don't like to mess with us. We're pretty safe. It's I guess we're just not really high on the hunting chain.
Keep to yourselves, do you?
You could say that.
Well,
I mean, we look mostly human. I mean, we can shift into dragons, but we prefer not to. It makes us seem a little bit more relatable and friendly, but you know, some people from my colony aren't exactly friendly.
you can shift into a dragon. I mean, you could turn into one right now, like on the spot.
Not really. It's kind of tricky to learn how to do it. I mean, it's not I don't really know how to explain. Like, it's something you gotta train really hard to do, and I don't know. I like the way I look. I mean, being a dragon is interesting, but I mean, I've never really had the interest of learning. I mean, I'm sure it'd be cool, but I can already fly how I am, and I mean, I'm a little bit easier on the eyes when I'm in this form. I mean, people see a life-size dragon and they kind of panic a little, you know?
Yeah, I know. That'd be a good thing to have on the line.
Yeah, but I mean, when I shift, it doesn't really change much about my abilities. I mean, I can still breathe fire just the same. I can fly just the same. The only difference is my claws, but I mean, I have swords for that. And one day, I think I want to become a monk, so I can learn how to, you know, punch. And maybe I can get these weapons that look like dragon claws. I think that could be my signature, you know?
Your signature.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know how,
like
Zoro has his swishy, sword, and that sky dude, that's angry sky dude, he has his big great sword somehow that he can lift with one hand.
I'm
then
gonna be
there's another
honest with
guy-
you, lass. I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's okay, most people don't.
But I like the enthusiasm.
Well, thank you.
You know,
Some people find it kind of annoying.
well, I don't think they got to know you quite enough, which is surprising. The way you killed that rabbit and what you were talking about with bloodlust.
It's so it is a dragon thing. It's not always something I can help, but it doesn't happen very often. It only really happens when I'm really, really hungry. That's another reason why I cook, because it's just easier to manage. And if I only know how to cook one thing, or if I have to rely on other people to eat, then I may not always know where my next meal is gonna come from. You know what I mean? It's just easier
Certainly.
to be in control of that kind of thing.
I think, though, lass, that you shouldn't be ashamed of that. As a matter of fact, I think it might be to your benefit if you embrace it.
I worry, though,
Don't.
because I've seen too many people embrace the side of themselves that can go wild and feral, and it doesn't go well.
In my experience, it usually does. It's a hard world. You gotta be harder than the next man. If you have any sort of power, you should use it to the best of your ability. Don't you think?
I think so. My worry is that if I embrace it too much, I might lose myself. And I'll end up becoming the monster that I'm afraid that I am. And that's why I don't want to become a dragon, like a full dragon. If I freak people out or scare them, then how else am I gonna make friends, you know?
Well, sounds like that's their problem. Right? I mean,
I guess.
you can't make excuses for who you are. You have to embrace it. especially out here.
I'll try.
See that you
It's just
do.
gonna be hard.
I think that you'll surprise us all.
Well, thank you for taking me seriously. Not many people do.
Well, I can see another side of you, lass, and I think it's worth cultivating.
I appreciate that a lot.
You're welcome.
Anyway,
Now let's have some of them eggs, huh?
Do you want to taste test some of this rabbit? It was actually
Oh, I
quite
do
robust.
indeed.
And Freya's gonna take a clean spoon and she's gonna dip into the stew that she's made and hold it out with her hand underneath and just kind of like hold it out for him to eat.
He does.
And what does he think?
Let me roll for taste.
Oh God, here we go.
It's a modest dish.
Nice.
Maybe a little burned, but he doesn't show it. He's like,
Aw.
oh,
That's really good.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. But yeah, the stew should be all finished shortly. I gotta add a few more vegetables and maybe some spices, but other than that, I think we're good to go.
Excellent.
and scene.
Yeah.
Hey.
I think that's my first time like having actual like character development with another character. Well, other than Myrtle, because I know me and
Yeah.
Myrtle. Oh no, that's not true. Because me and Myrtle. Never mind. I'm stupid. Me and Myrtle and Takai have talked a lot too.
Freya, do you have a point of inspiration yet on your sheet?
I'm pretty sure I do.
Okay. I will just note that that was worthy of one if you didn't have one. So great job.
I don't know where to put it, but I have one.
Okay. It might if you're on D&D Beyond, there might be a section that's like inspiration. I think at the top of the page somewhere.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Be right beside your hit points, to the left of it.
Cool. Any
If-
other? Oh,
Oh.
Yes,
Please?
I was going to say, since that's happening near the morning, I'd say probably earlier in the night. If Myrtle is willing to
earlier in the
share
day. It's still.
Early-
it's
that's
daytime.
right.
Right, yeah.
Y'all flipped it.
earlier in the day, if Myrtle is willing to share a watch shift with me,
I am.
I would like
And-
to
Describe to me how you're doing the watch.
With their eyes.
Well, are you out in the sun or are you in the tent? And what's the approach here?
I think.
Go ahead.
Oh, you go first.
I would just like to assist them by watching specifically, like, if there are any changes of, like, temperature drastically, weather, wind patterns changing the dunes, or if it's just natural worm movement, or anything like that. Just trying to keep a good visual or a good visual on those types of things.
Okay. Everyone who is taking watch outside the tent, make another con save. That should be, I think, Freya, McCleary, you guys, and anyone else who's also taking watch.
Is it possible to like peek
Okay,
out of
sweet.
the tents?
Is this a
Sure.
Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
Because
Only if you
going
are
to
doing
inhibit-
watch outside the tent, though.
Oh, okay.
So at the end of all the conversations, I'll ask for a perception check, and the
Okay.
DC might increase if you're only looking through the flaps or something.
Yeah, because my idea for what Takai is doing is he's already kind of unhappy with the still suits because this is probably the most clothing he's ever worn in his life. And he's just kind of on his, laying flat on his stomach, kind of arms folded under his chin, tail
He's
kind of whipped.
loafing.
Yeah, he's kind of, he's loafing. He's kind of loafing. Just kind of tail whipping back and forth as his eyes are scanning the horizon. Kind of from within the tent, so he's not out in the heat.
So again, that is a DC 12. If you got below a 12, take an additional point of exhaustion.
And presumably a point goes away when you sleep, correct?
That's
Is
correct.
that how it works?
Anyway, go ahead and talk.
So, Myrtle,
Yes.
You know, you're normally really cool and approachable. You've got this whole grandpa vibe going on.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. But when you thought that Sonny had actually fucking killed Monty and he was trying to kill everyone else, you got kind of fucking scary.
I mean, well, I mean, it was a scary situation. It's not the first time, and sure, it won't be the last time, but we all handle loss in different ways, I suppose, and I don't know. It kind of made something snap in me. Have you lost anyone before?
He kind of tilts his head a little bit and presses his mouth against his arms and then says, I haven't really lost anyone, but I've sort of come close. He lifts his head up and kind of fingers the charm on the end of the choker that he wears. This was made by my little brother. And give me 1 second, because I need to pull up his character sheet up so I can fucking find his brother's name.
Forgot your own brother's name.
Ryan.
Unless you changed it, I can DM you it.
His name's Tafir. He's kind of an artisan like you, but he was also sick for a really long time, and I had to kind of take care of him.
Well, I think when we treasure anyone, I suppose we get very protective when someone tries to take that away from us. I hope you keep them safe and secret.
Well, I'm a nobody from a fishing village in the middle of nowhere. I don't think anyone's gonna go looking for them.
Myrtle kind of smiles a bit, but it looks like a very plastered on smile. He said, "That's what I thought too, but even when you think everything is buried away, if someone has a reason to go searching for them, then they'll always try to find a way. Even when they're innocent."
No one would dare touch my little brother. He's got the protection of Virtus on him. Like, that's gotta count for something, right?
I'm not going to put fears and worries in your head, son, but we're doing some pretty... The more that we're known for what we do, the more people will go digging. So, keep a low profile to some extent, but be careful. That's all I'm trying to say. Myrtle kind of rolls his eyes for a second, trying to find a way to word things in a way that'll be less difficult for him, to kind of give an analogy of everything that he's trying to say. And he says, well, we're ending close to the end of our shift. How about a story?
Is it gonna be about whoever you lost, or is it gonna be someone else? And as he says this, Takai's tail just kind of very gently brushes up against you.
It's
kind of in a comforting way.
Myrtle smiles a little bit, but it's not a happy story, but it's not done yet. So there's not necessarily a bad ending there yet, but it's, well, we'll see. and he kind of leans back a bit, and he looks up at the sun and tries to recall things in a way that he can talk about things without going too deep into what he's trying to say. He says, well, once upon a time, when the moons Kalshar and Seer had circled the world many a time, there was an emerald sea dragon that had traveled the seas, basking in the beauty of the liquid sea of sapphire and emeralds. The world was currently at peace, and while traveling he found a gemstone of unparalleled value. Two grandkids, beautiful and so full of potential. He wanted to share the world with them, to show them the beauty of the world. But soon, war broke out, consumed by greed and malice. One man coveted the status of the sea dragon and fostered up a plot to take away everything from him. Nay, more Seacrest. The sea dragon was off on an adventure, trying to find things to bring back to his little horde. He heard whispers of betrayal to the crown, of two people who had done the unspeakable, that they had tried to usurp the throne. The dragon had felt something off, and getting rid of his ideas of adventure, he traveled back home. Each week back felt like an eternity, and with no way to communicate, unrest just festered in him. He came back to a pile of rubble, of no home, of no one inside, of a house burnt down to the ground, and with wanted posters of the things he valued most in the world, of his two precious treasures in the world. He didn't know how it happened or why, but he always had suspicions. He always had things leading up to it. A trail, a betrayal. Now, there's more to this, obviously, but I think the point of this story is the more that you gather around you, the more fame, the more well-known you get, the more people will do to get at you. So, even if your brother is innocent, even if he seems protected, be wary. That's the main point of all of this. It's a weird balancing act if you have something to protect being a pirate. Do you understand?
Kai looks pretty taken aback by that entire story. His eyes wide, and he just kind of turns away, his fingers rolling the little charm back and forth and back and forth. No. Furtis said, as long as I didn't bore him, Defir would be fine.
I'm not saying that he's in danger or anything, but we're fighting a bunch of people that will do anything to get to the Grand Line, to... Be careful, is all I'm saying. But once again, it's not the end of the story. There might be a plot twist, he says with kind of a bit of a smirk and a gleam in his eyes as he looks towards the moons that are starting to come up as their shift is beginning to end.
I kind of nods and rolls over on his back, putting his hands behind his head as he seems to have a really long think about that, going silent.
And scene.
And scene.
Interesting. Hey, wait a minute.
Okay.
I need whoever's taking watch to make a perception check.
Okay.
Is this
Let
Doom?
me
It's Doom
make
music, I think, yeah.
a perception check.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay, Grandpa. Just saw that.
18.
Hey!
Well, is that 20 for the perception, Chad?
I didn't make one. That was for the Constitution.
Okay, so who?
Do you need me to make one for my perception before?
Yes, for the watch.
Okay.
Whoever's taking watch, I guess besides Takai, because he's already rolled.
I'll-
Make a perception check.
my perception is shit, so
19.
there we go.
Okay. And Myrtle?
Sure.
And Freya, you need to do one too.
Oh,
Oh! He was too involved in the
Myrtle,
storytelling.
Yeah.
Perception check. I got a
Well-
22.
Nice.
okay. Music a little bit dramatic, but
What do we see?
Worm.
Worm sign.
Hold on, you're putting me on the spot.
Oh yeah, that's a
Do I
worm
still have
track.
the mantra up? No, I don't.
Oh, worm.
Worm.
Wow, we're keeping watch, Nate. You sure aren't doing well.
He's telling a story.
I have
What's sand
trauma,
in his
leave me
eyes? Leave him
alone.
alone.
He's a turtle in a
Evolved.
still suit.
Meanwhile, Takai's eyes are just going like full, like, vroom.
Vibrations in the ground.
Vibrations in the... Okay. I didn't notice it, so you guys better speak up.
Okay, wait. So on whose watch did this happen?
Well, who? I'm a little bit confused about the scheduling here.
Okay, so Freya and I were first. Like everyone bedded down and we were first.
I thought you were
Okay.
last because Freya was cooking.
Yeah, we were cooking. We were doing.
Yeah, Yeah, the
we were
way,
cooking
the
so that when
way,
people woke up, they could eat.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Then we were last, I guess.
Whoever is later in the evening. So if that was McCleary and Freya, then
Okay.
it'll be in your shift.
Yeah.
So we see worm sign essentially.
You see worm sign.
Does it appear to be threatening, or is it just like the first one where it might just pass us by?
Make an additional perception check.
I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me.
Oh my
Well.
God.
I presumably can't tell.
It's a little bit
have-
too far out to tell exactly whether it's it's headed in your vague direction, but it's hard to tell if it's literally towards you or if it's like more towards the side, parallel, and it'll go towards the right or the left. It's too far out. You can see it at the edge of the horizon. The vibrations are slowly getting more intense.
So I
Okay.
did roll a 22. What,
The first
what
time,
would I
correct?
see? Yes. What? Oh, do I
Freya,
do a second one?
it is headed not literally literally towards you, especially as you
Okay.
finish cooking.
Okay.
That is
I'm gonna,
not something that is typically done in the desert, in this area.
Was it perception with disadvantage?
You said you had a 22?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't have to roll with disadvantage or anything.
Okay.
You know
so,
it is headed. You have made a disturbance, and it is headed in your direction.
Okay. Hey, McCleary, we gotta
Hey.
wake up the others, or
Right.
keep them calm, or draw this thing away. But it's coming right at us.
All right,
Don't
let's
you see
wake
it?
him
It's
up.
it's
I
right
see
in
it,
front
I-
of us.
I'll get the captain. You get the others.
We need to make sure they don't make too much movement. Otherwise, there might be more that'll come.
Right. Well, we'll just worry about that as it happens.
Listen, if I can. Does it see us, Ruben, or does it just go by vibration?
You have no idea.
Okay, Shit.
I'm gonna wake up the others.
Okay,
And I just go to the Harlow's tent, and I just whisper, "Captain, we got worm sign."
All right, let's get everybody up.
Be quiet about it, though, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Question: would running away from it be an acrobatics or an athletics? Check.
We're not at that point yet.
Well, because I was gonna see if I could lure it away.
You tell me what you are thinking.
I'm wanting to run towards it and then run past it and fly up so it gets confused.
Okay.
I'll
Interesting.
piss it off.
Okay.
Okay. You run while Harlow is getting everyone together. You run from camp. You run straight past everyone. This is the first time you've done this since you've gotten to the island, or since you've gotten to the desert. You are running across the sand. You can feel the heat across your feet and your shoes. As you get closer with that high perception, you can see that the worm is getting closer. Of course, it is. You're probably going to meet at about 100 feet in front of you. It is getting further up towards the surface. The dunes that it is toppling over, or kind of rising beneath. More and more sand is being spurted into the air from its size. You now notice that the worm is, I don't have the exact measurements, but it's probably 20-25 feet in width. This is a pretty monstrous creature. And as you get closer to it, before you've actually attempted this little maneuver, you hear a rumble through the ground. The sand begins to shake and vibrate. Your feet kind of slip for a second, given that when the sand is shifted like this, it almost has a water-like quality to it.
Oh my gosh! So kind of like quicksand almost.
Kind of like quicksand
like
for
pulling
a
it
brief
in.
moment, as the worm makes what is the equivalent of a growl-like sound.
Okay.
Now,
I'm gonna fly up and kind of save myself from slipping.
Okay.
But I'm still in front of it.
Make an acrobatics check for me, please.
Okay. I got a 15.
15. I'm going to make a roll. I don't have dice with me at my parents' house, but I'm gonna roll open. And this is gonna be a perception check. I'm just gonna roll a straight d20 just to kind of get a sense, and
Okay.
you guys want this to roll low.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
No. No.
And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path, and only I will.
Takai
did you
mutters
get,
to
Ruben?
himself.
Sorry,
What did you get?
it's in
Five.
Oh,
the
5. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
You suddenly fly above the creature, and you weren't yet there, but now that you're above it and you're no longer trying to run past it exactly, maybe you're still kind of going forward, it is now directly beneath you, and it rises above the sand for the first time, and you can see the kind of purplish yellow exterior. It's only purple in certain glints of the sunlight. It's why it's called a purple worm. It makes another loud sound, and you can see its head bending upward towards you.
Okay, so I don't want to use my fire breath just yet, but I am gonna shout down at it and say, "Hey, you big ugly! You want to mess with my horde? You mess with me first!" And she flies past it a few feet away, touches down back on the ground, and then she starts.
Well, hold on. You're still in the air. How high are you in the air?
I'm, gosh, I would say, well, is it still above or below me?
It is below you. And its head, which you now see it doesn't have eyes or anything. It's a worm. The mouth has, well, I can only describe as tens, hundreds, maybe thousands of sharp protrusions, teeth, whatever you want to call it. And it is headed toward in your direction. So part of its body is still kind of forward moving, and the head is tilting back towards the comparably small dragon girl that has jumped over it. You have 30 feet of movement, so you have gone maybe only 50-60 feet ahead, in the short span of time here. It is going to intercept you fairly quickly.
Okay. So, shoot. How close is it to me?
At this kind of bullet time moment, maybe 10-15 feet from you.
Okay.
You can feel the suction of the air from its mouth opening wider. You can hear the sound of the sand being disturbed. You can hear the sound of the shift in the air from the mass of this thing as it turns towards you. Meanwhile, all your friends about 150 feet away who are in a process of trying to run see this take place.
So they can see me. Can I, have I given them enough time to prepare? How is the crew doing, guys?
I'm preparing something if we're ready for it.
Okay. I'm gonna trust that they're gathering things up. I mainly did this to give people time, so I'm gonna start running back, screaming.
So you are still in the air. You have not fallen yet. The worm's head is moving towards you. Beneath you is only worm and the sand next to the worm.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna touch back down.
Where?
Several feet backwards, kind of like going back to where I was, but instead of.
So where you were is now immediately in front of the worm's head.
It's all worm, right? It's like a giant.
I'm gonna go behind it then, so I can give a little bit more time, so it has to turn around.
So
that would behind it.
So that would mean you'd basically be jumping on it, where its neck. It's a worm, so it doesn't have a neck, but it's currently, so like to give you a visual, it is currently curling up from its position, kind of like a U shape.
Okay, then I know what I'm gonna do.
To get you in the air.
So I'm gonna land on its back.
Okay.
And take out one of my swords and stab into it. And hopefully, if I slide down enough, it'll cut downwards, so there's like an open, like, cut in its back. And then I want to run down the length of its tail.
One thing at a time. One thing at a time. What type of sword are you using here?
I'm using my let's see. I'm using my long sword.
Is it magical?
No. I don't believe
the
so.
Sword hits the exterior of the worm, and you hear a loud clank as it is unable to pierce.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, because I'm gonna kind of let myself slide down, and
the sword is unable to stick.
That's fine.
I think the worm is moving as this is all happening. Its head above you now, I imagine the visual is the circle of the teeth is literally above you, maybe 10, 15 feet above your head.
Okay.
You try to stab this in, hoping to kind of lean into this effect to, slide along the side of the worm. I need you to make another acrobatics check to see whether you totally stumble and fall off, or whether you're able to gracefully slide down.
Got a
even
17.
with this,
I got a 17.
The 17?
Yeah.
Okay. You are able to slide down. So, like, what first happens is you hit the sword with the exterior. It bounces, shaking your whole body. You're not able to get the leverage that you wanted, but you're able to kind of roll into the effect and slide down, kind of like in a somersault down the side of the worm. You are right next to the worm. Its body may be only a foot or two from you. The sand is being sucked inward. It is still moving, and you have its attention as you wanted.
Okay. So,
what do you do?
Because I'm kind of like stuck, can I fly again? Can I start flying forward a little bit so I'm on steadier sand?
You may certainly try to jump up and fly.
Okay.
And where are you flying to?
I'm flying back towards the camp. But I want to
back
touch
towards us? Yeah, what are we
Yeah.
doing? Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, make a suggestion, sorry.
Freya, I'm going to go to the top of this dune. Make him come this way. I have an idea.
Got it! So she's gonna run towards Myrtle.
Can I do a stealth check? I don't want this worm anywhere near me.
Yeah, I try and avoid the worm too.
Well, you'll need a move to make a stealth check. The worm has spotted the camp. So once y'all begin running again somewhere else, there will be another stealth check to see whether it's able to find you. It now has some indication where you are. And again,
okay, so during the time that Freya was essentially distracting it, that gave us how much time, do you think?
That whole thing probably took about 20-30 seconds.
Okay. So in that time, and presumably we wanted to pack up our tents.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I packed mine up.
Yeah, what is the music?
How long does that take?
Let me.
Hans Zimmer.
What else? I know. I don't know what he's doing yet. Oh, let me.
Going ham.
Let me.
Ham Zimmer.
Let me.
Ham Zimmer.
Pause it and resume and see if this will fix it.
Nope.
That didn't do shit. Okay,
It might just be a
Here,
shitty track.
I'll just play some stuff on mine.
There we go. Cool. Actually, you know what? I'll just try this again from the beginning. See, this isn't good.
I mean, y'all have been having Discord problems. It could just be Discord.
It could just be Discord. Actually, shit. That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on.
Well, then why'd you do it?
Pause.
So I was under the impression originally that we were going to fight this thing no matter what. So I was gonna bring it back, give us time to prepare, then come back and have us fight it. But
we ain't fighting Shai Halud.
No.
Okay,
This,
okay,
I mean,
20. Well, Myrtle, your idea is probably the only thing.
I do have. This is the second day.
He's a mad lad, that turtle.
So, you asked how much you're able to get done in 20-30 seconds. I mean, you can't pack up the tents and do everything in 20 seconds. You can run in 20 seconds.
Okay, yeah, we get out and run.
I mean, we move away from the camp then. I would like to. I don't know what everyone else is going to do.
Go ahead.
I was going to go as fast as I can while doing the
worm dance.
thing. Yeah, the worm dance. Is that half movement or something?
I need stealth checks from all of you with disadvantage.
I am not trying to be stealthy. I'm going the opposite direction up a hill.
And I'm not being stealthy either because right now, about how far... Okay, so you said that whole thing took about 20-30 seconds, right?
11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, about how far away distance-wise is Freya from us?
50... Actually, I think I said 150 feet.
150 feet. Okay, because as soon as she shouts, I'm gonna cast Fly on myself. fly as fast as I can over there, and while staying probably, let's see, my Eldritch Blasts have a range of 120 feet. I'm gonna be 100 feet up in the air, peppering the sand around it with Eldritch Blasts to just kind of confuse it as well.
Okay. Well, that is in the kind of the brief moment before that is happening. Freya, what are you doing? You've landed on the sand,
Yeah.
next to the worm. What are you doing?
Yes. I'm running towards the dune, kind of using my wings to give myself a little bit more speed.
Which dune?
The one that Myrtle's on.
Okay.
So Myrtle's going to the side, not the same area where the camp currently is.
No,
Right,
I'm going opposite direction of everyone else.
Myrtle.
Okay.
To the highest dune that I can get to in the short amount of time that we have.
Okay. You see the worm, its head kind of was going towards it in like the U shape. It kind of bends back into the sand. You feel a massive vibration. The ground shakes beneath everyone. I think everyone kind of stumbles for a brief moment as the worm kind of goes back under the sand a little bit. It's now being peppered by the Eldritch Blasts. Freya is running towards the dune where Myrtle is, kind of to the side. Everyone else is going to I guess the other side maybe. Where is everyone else running to?
Yeah,
With
I'm
Harlow.
just trying to get away from the worm. So whatever direction it's going to, I'm going the other way.
Yeah, I'm following first mate. He's got the right idea.
I think this is what you see and what we'll close on tonight. As Myrtle and Freya are on kind of one side of the screen, Harlow and the rest of the group on the other side of the scene of the screen. The 100 feet in between you where the camp previously was, all your tents, whatever supplies you had, the worm, you see the ground shake beneath, the same kind of watery effect that occurred earlier, that affected Freya, is now happening to all of that equipment. It begins to sink down until it is no longer in view, and you see just the mouth of the worm swallowing all these tents, a huge amount of sand kind of rising a little bit out of the ground to do so before sinking back into the earth. We'll pick it up there next week.
Did I accidentally fuck us?
No,
Desert of
not
Clay-
necessarily.
Well, we don't have our tents.
But I could
or-
kill myself next episode. We'll see.
No,
So,
We're all gonna die.
you need to stay alive
all in hell.
long enough for
See-
plastic to do that.
I was gonna be tempted to blow fire into its open mouth.
I don't think that would kill.
I don't think it would have cared.
That's giant. The amount of damage
thing
you
is
could do versus
50
its
feet
HP.
tall. You see
That's
that? You know,
true.
50 feet tall.
Yeah,
Cavernous.
that's fine.
It's a cavernous.
Ruben, when
Big
you're
worm.
when you're doing your next session, come up with some ideas of what kind of damage this bomb is gonna do.
Myrtle loses
yes.
an arm and a leg.
Because it
Bomb
is day
that-
number 2.
Bomb that Myrtle
Explodes.
has made. What damage does it do? Let's add this.
Oh my
to my
God.
list. Okay.
Custom
Well-
bomb.
See,
Well,
placing a bag of holding inside an extra dimensional space created by a handy haversack portable hole destroys both items and opens a gate to the astral plane. The gate originates where one item was placed inside the other. Any creature within 10 feet of the gate is sucked through it to a random location on the astral plane. The gate then
Oh.
closes. The gate is only one way and can't be reopened.
Oh
Myrtle,
boy.
Myrtle, why?
Almost.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was fun. Glad
It
y'all
was.
joined us.
That was fun.
Yeah, I had a
We will
blast.
be back here again next Wednesday on the 30th. I think we should have hopefully the whole team there, and we'll all be well rested from the vacations. I'm sure everyone hopefully is having at least a little bit of time off. I'm sure the folks who are on this channel already know this, but if you don't know, Jonah has a VTuber.
Yo.
And it's launching what 12 or 2 on Saturday.
On the 26th.
1 p.m. on the 26th. Yeah.
1 p.m. on the 26th. Okay. So please be there for that. It is we have all seen it, and it's great, and y'all will like it. And it's kind of
Hot
illegal
boy.
how attractive it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all so much for joining us, and let's say goodnight.
Good night, everyone.
night, everybody.
Everybody.
Night, night, night.
Bye.
All right.